Hey, thanks for watching. So I'm here today with Marcus Mepstead, who is silver medalist at 2019 World Championships men's foil. Thanks so much for taking a minute to talk to me, Marcus.
No worries.
So I wanted to get a little bit of a sense of what you think of mental skills training. That's what we work on at SharperMind Training, and so wanted to get the thoughts of a champion. What does mental skills training mean to you?
So I like to think of myself, I guess, as more than just an athlete. So mental skills training allows me to go beyond like the physical, tactical elements of it, and really, develop my mindset within the sport.
Awesome. So what do you do for mental training?
There's a lot, I guess. Like I prepare like I would do like in the gym, preparing my body or taking my lesson with my coach. So we do situational sparring, I do meditation. I will kind of even go through my videos, look at my body language to make sure that that's all feeding the right stuff for me throughout the tournament. Also, I guess I do a lot of prep, like week by week, just building up what it is that I want to be working on, how I want to feel, and how I want to be when I'm competing. You know, for me, it's really important to really enjoy what I do, and as long as I have that mindset of like enjoying it, having fun, keep building that throughout each fight, I feel like the competition goes really well.
So it sounds like that mindset of really being there for the sake of the fencing is kind of what's important to you, and that's what your training is gearing you towards.
For sure. It's like I want to be in the moment. I want to be as present as possible every single time, and it doesn't work if you just go like straight into the competition with that. You have to build it and cultivate it each day, and in turn that allows you to do it in competition.
That makes sense, and I agree.
Yeah.
So speaking of building into the competition, tell me a little bit about how your mental skills training impacted your performance at World Championships.
So I guess the run up to the World Champs was not great. I had, you always want to have like the perfect setup for the perfect tournament, and I cut my hand. I was ill. I missed about 3 weeks of training, and it was difficult going in. And I just had to have like honest conversations with my team manager, with my coach about how I was feeling. And I think being able to have that open conversation allowed me to feel a little bit comfortable that I didn't have the perfect setup. And I felt also everything I'd been doing throughout the year had just allowed me to go into the competition with like quite a free mindset, and it didn't matter who was in front of me, whether it was the world number one or anyone else. I was able just to go in and really focus on the process and have a lot of fun. And when I watched the matches back, sometimes I didn't even realize like the score or how far ahead I was until I'd seen the video of the match, and it made me feel like, oh, it was really good. I was really, really present, which makes me really happy.
Fantastic, and congratulations. It's a great result.
It's the best I've had, so it was good.
It sounds like one way or another you got to a point where you were really confident going into that tournament.
Yeah, exactly. Like I felt like I had to drag that confidence up and make it happen, but because of everything I've been doing, the practice, the mental skills training I've been doing day in, day out, it allowed me to do it.
Awesome. One of the things I hear about both in sort of athletic contexts, but also in the business world, is a sense of psychological safety. And it sounds like you really had that, where you could talk to your coach, your manager, that maybe you didn't totally feel like you were in the best place to be competing. And because you had that freedom to talk to them about exactly where you were and be totally honest, you could kind of accept that and then perform at your best, even though circumstances weren't ideal. Does that resonate with what you were saying?
Yeah, no, completely. It for me, like I always feel like there's a little bit of a stigma around like mental health or even just like sports psychology. Trying to build that into your training from a young age, you don't realize that it's just as necessary as going to the gym or taking the lessons. And once you start building up that mindset, it really is. It frees you to do all the stuff, like to make use of all the stuff that you've done in your gym session, in your fencing session. And having those honest conversations or open conversations, sometimes you just want to say, oh, I don't feel good, and it's when you've got like a unit around you that actually gives you a lot of strength from opening up, which is really nice.
So you mentioned doing things in the gym every day, training from a young age.
Mm-hmm.
When you were developing as a fencer, did you feel like you had resources around mental skills training or like a tool set to draw on? Was that something you were taught from a young age?
No, not actually. It wasn't until maybe about 23, 24 that I started really practicing it, working with like a sports psychologist, and yeah, building up that part of my game. The same with the gym aspect. I didn't really go into it until I was 21. In the UK, we have a very different setup than you guys have here. It's almost like you fall into the sport by accident, and then you just see where it goes and where it takes you. And by the age of about 19, 20, I was put on like the world-class program, which was our government-funded program we have in the UK. And that allowed me to have access to all of this. And then it allowed me to see actually there's so much I can do with the sport. And it kept it fresh, it kept it kind of really exciting to see actually, you know, it's so many different levels to the game. But yeah, as a kid, I really didn't have it. And you have it in different ways. Like my older brother, he used to do fencing a little bit, and he would do a lot of sports, and he would pick it up so easily. And I was always had that sibling rivalry, like trying to push through. And I think that element of like not giving up and fighting the whole time has really helped me throughout. And then there's always been different situations which is like that, which is really like build up that tenacity of that fight, which is almost like a practical version of the skills training. I didn't realize I was doing it, and then as I got older and started working with sports psychology, I could see, okay, this is actually the stuff I'm doing and how to manage it and how to challenge my mentality and training and how to make it really work, so I'm doing it on an everyday basis and making it count for the competition, not doing it by random sometimes and doing it wrong or doing it right and just kind of going as it is, but actually having like a process.
So it sounds like working individually with somebody to train these skills for you was really a benefit.
Yeah, for sure. And it was really important for me once I went into this like world-class program we had with UK Sport. It was to build up a team around me that I felt confident having these conversations, that I felt like obviously I'm always trying to perform for myself, but I had a team around me. I wanted to perform for them as well. And I think I'm sure there are athletes who do it by themselves, but I think it's really, really hard to do it by yourself the whole way through. And I think if you can have a team around you and in every element, it only makes you stronger.
Absolutely, and I would really love for all of the athletes I work with to feel that kind of support. Mm-hmm. And my hope is that I can help athletes learn to kind of carry that sense of support with them, even if they don't have a full crew there at every competition. One of the things you've mentioned to me previously is that you really value and really care about building up fencers from kind of the youth perspective onward, and that giving back to the community is really important to you. So I feel like that resonates with you a little bit, trying to give these fencers a feeling of confidence and support from a young age onwards. Now, of course, I have to ask you, because a few months prior to getting silver medal at Worlds, you did attend one of our SharperMind Training clinics. So what did you think of that clinic, and how do you think it impacted you and your performance?
Yeah, I really liked the clinic. I thought it was, I would say the biggest thing that I thought that I drew out of it was that the kids were able to recognize, like I mentioned before, like sometimes I was doing stuff and I didn't realize I was actually practicing my mental skills. But here, that session allowed the kids to recognize when they were doing it, like maybe what they were working on or how they were managing, and even to have like a general conversation about it. And just starting that conversation is like a massive first step. You know, I see now when I'm in training at Brooklyn Bridge, there's people are open and honest about these conversations, and I think that's really good. And in turn, that benefits me, you know, because I've got a stronger unit around me. Like every kid that I fight with, every match that I have at that tournament in the club allows me to perform at the tournament. So having a stronger unit, having a stronger base, really benefits me.
Awesome. And yeah, that's one of the things I've found is running these clinics, simply starting the conversation. Mm-hmm. A lot of people are already working on these things here and there. They're doing a reset strategy in between touches, or they're learning to focus better before the bout. And by talking about it, we can give those tool sets to each other and build upon what each one of us has learned or practiced. Yeah. And then having that chance to practice is, I think, what's one of the most crucial parts of that clinic. So.
And for sure, like just to allow you to keep enjoying what you're doing. You know, as a kid, we started off, we love the sport, and then there comes a point sometimes where you just put so much pressure on yourself, or all the other things other than just like stabbing the other guy becomes like so much more important, and you feel like I have so much pressure or stress. I see like a lot of the kids, especially in New York, you know, there's always so much stress going on. So just to be able to step out of that and really just step onto the strip and feel like comfortable and feel happy with what
that's
you're
all
doing.
There is.
That's a really big thing that I want to share with whenever I'm like speaking to younger athletes, it's just like to really enjoy what you do, you know, because to be able, like for me to have a career doing this is, I'm so lucky. Like it makes me really happy to know that I've moved from London to New York, and to do for fencing is pretty cool.
That's awesome, man. That's very good. Congratulations again. Thank you so much for taking a few minutes to talk to me.
No worries.
And again, this is Marcus Mepstead.
Hope you guys
World
enjoyed.
Championship silver medalist, fences at Brooklyn Bridge Fencing Center. Thanks so much.
Cool.
Thanks for watching.
Cheers.